Hey, Roman. You've been here for 3 years now. I think you've kind of seen a lot in the program. And the past couple of years, it's been these kind of frustrating losses that Coach Loxley talked about at home, Illinois, Purdue, now Michigan State. From your perspective, why are these losses continuously happening to games that, hypothetically you guys should win?
I feel like we play in one of the toughest conferences in college football, being in the Big Ten. And I feel like any given Saturday, any team can win, and we always know sometimes not the best team doesn't win every game. We just have to get back to the drawing board and make sure that, those 6 plays that determine the football games are our best 6 plays, and that's something that we got to keep working on and take this as a lesson to springboard us into our next game. Yeah, it's ebbs and flows in every football game, and you don't know what 6 plays will be the determining factor in those football games. I feel like if we can do a better job creating more explosive plays on offense and limiting them on defense, we'll have what we want in the end. And, it's an ever-growing thing that we got to keep working.
Roman, when a loss like Saturday brings out a lot of the critics who are quick to criticize the program, does that bother you and your teammates?
It doesn't bother us at all. When we take the field on Saturdays, we're kind of all we have. We all we need at that point in time. When we play on the field, we have each other's backs, and we know that there's adversity that's going to show up, and we have to have each other's backs at all times. So, when the critics say what they have to say or what they want to say, it doesn't really bother us much because, we have an internal driven mindset, and we have a goal that we want to achieve together.
Does that include also when they criticize Mike and say, maybe we need a new coach?
Yeah, he's as tough as they come as well from the top, and that's a reflection of how we are, all the way down to everybody in our building. There's always going to be critics, and we feel like that's what comes with the sport. So, him taking it on and doing what he does to be a tremendous leader to us, it's what we do as well to, kind of pay it forward and, keep our heads on straight throughout everything that goes on throughout the season.
Jumped in late, Roman. Defensively, what does UVA do to deny teams? What are kind of some of the concerns for you guys?
Anytime you play a team like that, it's an old town rivalry game. They're going to be very juiced up as well as we are. I feel like they have a really good defense. They have some good players up front. So far, I've seen a lot of their defensive linemen and their linebackers step up, and they're jumping off the film. To me, just being a running back, and that's some people that I have to account for throughout the game. So I feel like it's going to be definitely a good battle for us. It'll help us to see where we are and what we need to keep working on. And I'm excited for the challenge.
And to follow up, Jonas Sanker, one of their safeties, makes a ton of plays. What is it about and a couple of their safeties have made sacks too. What is it about their defensive backfield that kind of does things?
I think they're just all very clued into what they have going on. I feel like they don't have too many calls, which helps them to play fast, play, aggressive, and they're a team that's definitely going to be where they're supposed to be. They don't make a lot of mistakes, so I think that helps them out when it comes to those people in the back end making plays and things like that. They're just, they have noses for the football, and they're in the right positions at every given time.
Finally, you guys don't play UVA every year, but you played them last year. They are the closest, Power 4 school in location, and Maryland, Virginia, the Potomac. What does this rivalry mean to you?
Being a kid from the DMV area, it means a lot to me just to be able to play some other local talent. We have recruitment battles with a lot of Virginia schools and things like that, which is above me. That really doesn't, pertain to anything that I think about. But just having the opportunity to have a game close to home and play against talent that's, some of them are close to home as well, and just kind of see where we are and see what the DMV has to offer as far as football.
Speaking of the DMV, Roman, obviously you're from the area. Coach Loxley is too. I want you to kind of give me a story, whether it's from the recruiting process or over your 3 years, where you think that kind of embodies your and Coach Loxley's relationship. Anything stand out of, good anecdote, anything like that?
We've had a lot of, encounters and conversations and things like that where I could say is the big catalyst or the big, shocker or things that kind of show our relationship. I would say it kind of came to me the first thing that came to my mind was when I was in the recruitment process. Actually, I remember one day he had called me on the phone. We were talking, and he just showed me his backyard, and he's like, "Look, this is home at home." And I'm like, man, it's amazing to just see, the stuff that he's been through and what he's been able to do with, his opportunities and things like that. And being a homegrown kid and a homegrown person he is, it's like, if you can do something like that at home, what's the need to go somewhere else to kind of make it happen? And, our relationship has grown through that, and it's been growing over the years. And I feel like we have a great relationship where I can, come to him with anything. And, he definitely gives me great advice when I need it. And he always helps me to, put my best foot forward with the game of football.
Roman, as a running offense, what do you guys need to do to kind of tap back into what you guys were able to do against UConn, against Virginia?
It just gets back to the basics. Just having a mentality that we're going to out-physical the defense. I think that's something that we have to get back to. I don't think we lost it, but, in different scenarios, there are different things that are presented to us. And, it's time to get back to the drawing board with that and just put our best foot forward when it comes to that. I know for myself, I preached being in the right places at the right times in the beginning of the season. And, that's something that I got to get back to the details of certain things just so I can help my offensive line out. And, hopefully Saturday it pays dividends for us.
I know this is only the third game of the season, but does this game against Virginia loom as a must-win game for you guys?
I don't really get into that too much. I feel like every game on our schedule is something that we should go into with a must-win scenario because, that's our aspirations as a team, to win as many games as we can. So, I'll take the field Saturday with the hopes that we win, and I'll do everything that I can to help us, get victory.
Roman, Coach Loxley was mentioning how yesterday there was some frustration among some of you guys. As a leader, what did you say to your teammates, or how do you kind of like lower those frustrations and look forward and push to get better and get a win this Saturday?
When you play the game of football and you're anything like how we are, we want to win every game. And, God has different plans for us. So, of course, we were frustrated. A lot of people had low-hanging faces initially, to the aspect of losing a game that we all thought we should have won or we really wanted to win. But as a leader, I kind of told them, the sky isn't falling. That's something that we use as a term here. In the past, we've let one loss go to 2 and 2 go to 3, but I feel like we have a different team this year, and we have a team that can get back to neutral and realize that that's just adversity, and we have a choice of how we can react or respond to it. That's something that Coach Locks brought up, and when we respond, we are able to determine the outcome of the narrative, and that's kind of how we've been moving forward with it.
Ruben, first off, looking at UVA, what they do, especially from a passing game standpoint, what kind of things do they do that put pressure on a defense like the ones you guys have?
A lot of play action. I think they do a great job at using their quarterback and moving him off the spot to make throws. Their quarterback does a great job at extending plays. He has a great ability to run and get outside the pocket. I know he led their team in rushing a year ago, but it wasn't off of any design runs. It was like him just taking off and making something happen. So just got to be aware of that.
In today's day and age where guys are here 1 year and then not another year, how good is it for you guys to have faced Calandria last year and have not just have tape on him, but have tape on, and have the experience of going up against him?
It's always good to have experience or to have tape on somebody you went against last year. He's a great player, and, we have the utmost respect for him and their offense and their scheme. So we're just preparing for a hard-fought game, and we're preparing for a great atmosphere in Charlottesville.
Hey, Ruben, just kind of building off that, I guess just obviously playing him last year, do you feel like you've seen any growth kind of from 2023 to 2024 from him? And then obviously with that familiarity, what do you feel like the front seven needs to do to contain him?
Yeah, he was a freshman quarterback last year, so obviously there's some frantic, things that come with that, but he's been there a year, and obviously there's been some growth there. There's been some comfortability that's been there, so if you ask me if he's gotten better, I'd say yeah, because, he's been in the system, for a year now, so, he's comfortable. And as far as front seven, we just got to do a good job at containing the quarterback. level rushing, and just handling our business with that.
Hey, Ruben. You know, you've been here in College Park and a leader of defense for a long time. In these games, like Saturday, you know, against a Big Ten team, and in a game that, you know, you guys win the turnover battle. You know, Coach Loxley said, do all the things you thought you would to win. Why do you think that those losses or those games keep turning into losses for you? Illinois last year, Purdue the year before, those type of games. What can be done to fix that, and why do they keep happening?
I think we just got to finish better. I think that it's never what opponents do to us; it's what we do to ourselves. I think we just got to, you know, execute better. You know, make plays for 60 minutes, not 30 minutes, not 45, and just keep uplifting, you know, each other. I think, you know, we have young corners, for example, on the outside, so we just got to keep picking them up and making sure that, you know, as leaders, we're encouraging them on a daily basis so that, you know, they can know and understand their ability, and they can go out and make plays. So I think, you know, we just got to finish, and we just got to, you know, hold each other accountable, and we will do that.
Ruben, after Saturday's game, you know, on social media, a lot of fans were saying this is the same old Maryland team. When you hear that, does that bother you, upset you?
I mean, no. They don't know what we've been doing, you know, for these past 8 months, throughout the, you know, the winter, the summer. So that doesn't faze me. You know, misery loves company. So I try to stay away from that. Keep my head up. I try to lead my team and my guys in the best way that I can. And it's week 2. Like, it's not the end of the world. Any given Saturday, you know, you can win or you can lose. You know, there's no guarantees in you know, sports and football. So I don't pay no mind to that. I just I keep living. I'm too blessed for that.
And like you said, this is only the 3rd game of the season, but does that make Saturday's game a must-win situation for you guys?
I mean, every week is a mentality that, you know, we go into it that we want to win. You know, this game is not more important than any other game in our schedule. Every game is equally important, and you know, we prep the same way, whether we're playing the #1 team in the country, you know, a team that's not ranked. Like, the preparation doesn't change. So, no.
Ruben, this used to be an annual matchup, a conference game, a rivalry game. What you know, what have you heard about this matchup from others? What are your impressions of what used to be an annual showdown?
It means a lot to the community. So, you know, I'm from down south, so I didn't know anything about it. But, you know, me being up here for the time that I've been up here, you know, rivalry games like this are important to the community and to people in our building. So, you know, obviously it's important to me, and, you know, it's going to be a great atmosphere, like I said before, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for the challenge.